Hi YouTube, this is Emily. It's been a while, but I am alive, I promise. What I'm working on right now is a bunch of spinning, a bunch of knitting. I haven't been crocheting a whole lot because I just love the way yarn knits up. I prefer the fabric. Like when I'm building a shape, I prefer crochet, but like when I'm just doing like garments and that kind of things, I prefer knitting. So I picked up a bunch of random yarn from Goodwill the other day that I'm really excited about. This was an unnamed yarn. I'm not sure where it's from. I'm not sure what it's composed of, but it's big and it's fluffy and squishy and absolutely beautiful. I love the colorway. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working on the pattern called the ponyfish hat. I can't remember who it's by, but I'll link it in the description box below. Basically, you just cast on a bunch of stitches, work ribbed in the round for a while, and then decrease. So it's a beanie. It's just a beanie. So I'm just working on that, and I figured I'd take you guys along with me for the process. This is kind of a single ply unspun yarn, which is interesting to work with, to say the least. It's fluffy, it's big, it's gonna work up really quickly, which I'm excited about because I just kind of want the instant gratification right now. But my needles do get caught, like a lot. So I have to be really careful about my needle placement and how I'm inserting my right needle into the stitches. But that's okay, that's just something to work with. We all have our own challenges, and this yarn is no exception. I'm doing the magic loop method because I hate working with double pointed needles. And when I say I hate working with double pointed needles, what I mean is I don't know how to work with double pointed needles. I've tried, and my brain cannot hack it. I don't know why. I've watched a bunch of videos, yada yada, etc., etc. So I know there's going to be a point in time where I'm supposed to be switching to double pointed needles to finish knitting this, because the decreases are going to get so small that I won't be able to do a magic loop. But at that point, I'm just gonna cut the yarn and thread it through and just cinch it together. I think that'll be fine. That's what I've done on a lot of my other beanies, and it's never been an issue. So that's what I'm working on. That's kind of my plan at the moment. There we go. Round one of many done. I'm supposed to be knitting this until I have approximately 9 inches of straight ribbing. And then after I reach 9 inches of fabric, that's when I'll switch to doing all of the fancy decreases. I also recently started the 75 soft challenge, which I've never done before, but I'm really excited about because I think it's going to help keep me accountable. I've never really done like a challenge like this before, but I don't know, it feels like I'm just ready for a change, you know? So probably after I finish this round, I'm going to go in and do my workout for the day. I know everyone kind of does the 75 challenge, the 75 soft challenge a little differently. Like, I know a lot of people do 10 minutes of reading a day, 10 pages of reading a day, whatever, what have you. But I'm not a big reader. I haven't been a big reader for a while. I used to be when I was a kid. I used to devour books like you wouldn't believe. I definitely had gifted kid syndrome, but I don't really know what happened. I don't know if it's the ADHD. I don't know if it's TikTok. But either way, my attention span has just gone down to like absolutely nothing. So like unless I'm knitting or like have something to do with my hands, I can't concentrate on anything. Not even like podcasts and stuff like that. Like I can't just sit there and listen to a podcast. I have to be actively doing something. I have to be cleaning the house. I have to be knitting. I have to be doing something while I do it. So that's kind of something I'm straying away from. I'm not doing 10 minutes of reading. I'm not doing 10 pages of reading because I just don't think that's realistic for me, because I'm just not going to do it, and then I'm going to get discouraged and I'm going to stop doing the challenge. So instead of setting myself up for failure, what I'm doing is instead doing 10 minutes of knitting a day, or 10 minutes of crochet a day, or 10 minutes of spinning a day, just some sort of fibery craft, 10 minutes every day. Especially because I recently got promoted at work, which has been super cool, but the promotion kind of means that I don't get nearly as much time to knit during work, because I used to just be on the phones all day, and obviously you'd have to type a little bit, but like once I got to a certain point, I was able to stop typing and pick up my knitting and just continue talking to the client on the phone. And I can't do that anymore because I'm in a different position, and it's really fun and I'm loving what I'm doing, but I do kind of miss having that freedom to just like knit whenever I wanted, because what I'm doing now is much more hands-on and it involves a lot more typing, a lot more managing. So that's kind of something that I'm leaning towards, is just doing 10 minutes of knitting a day to make sure that I am still getting that time to knit, because knitting really does bring me a lot of peace. And it calms me down a lot. Like I'll sit there and I'll angry knit, and by the time I finish like 5 rows, I'll have knitted it out. You know what I mean? I'll have knitted the energy out. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I've got a couple different goals for the 75 soft challenge. Like I'm moving my body 45 minutes a day, which is pretty standard. I'm drinking 2.5 liters of water a day, which is pretty standard. And I'm tracking my protein intake as well to make sure I'm getting enough protein, because that's something I'm really bad at, is getting protein in my diet. So probably after I finish this next round, I'm gonna go in and do my exercise for the day. I believe today is arms and back, so I'm gonna do some sort of upper body like Pilates workout, I think, after I walk my dog, because I do about a half-mile walk with my dog every day, and then when I come back, my heart rate's usually up, my body's warmed up, so that's when I'll go straight into doing a workout. And so far, you know, it's day 2, but it worked yesterday, so I'm gonna do it again. I did legs and glutes yesterday, because Tuesday is legs and glutes, and oh my gosh, my legs hurt so bad. Not in a bad way, like I didn't injure myself or anything, but just my muscles forgot how to be muscles, I think. Like I just haven't used my muscles like that in such a long time that everything is super, super sore. So I've been using a lot of like muscle creams and muscle rubs and taking baths and using heating pads and whatnot, because I am such a baby about that kind of pain. I really am. Like I'll just sit there and I'll whine and like it just hurts, you know? So I'm trying to not be so annoying for my husband. But it's a good kind of pain. it's a good kind of hurt, because like my body feels used in a good way, like I'm utilizing it the way it's meant to be utilized. So it's not something I'm upset about, but it's definitely something I'm like wary of, is being so sore. So I think that's probably a good stopping point for now. I always have to, I lost the cable keys for these. So whenever I'm knitting with them, they end up unscrewing, and I have to go back in after every couple of rounds and rescrew my needles together, which is so silly, but it is what it is. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my 5th row right now. This is what the fabric is looking like. Absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna put it down and go inside and move my body. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh, she's a pretty girl. Piper. Oh, pretty girl. Hi. I figured I'd give you guys an update. I've done a lot of knitting off screen, so I want to show you guys kind of where I'm at. I do apologize for the lighting. I have my pink light on and then I have my computers on, so the lighting's a little wonky right now because it's also nighttime, so it kind of just is what it is. I do apologize. But this is where we're at. I'm exactly halfway done. This is about 4.5 inches of work, and I need 9, so I'm like pretty much halfway there. I did the math and I need 32 rows, somewhere around there, and this is like 17 rows, so all the math checks out, which is always fun. I'm very excited about how this is working up. I've done a lot of striped beanies lately, lots of stripes, and I love stripes. Stripes will always have a place in my heart, but I've done a lot of them, so I'm kind of over stripes right now. So I'm very excited about this, like lots of color changes, but it's more of like a pebbled, marbled look versus like striping. So I'm very excited about that. This is where we're at on the donut skein. Still looking good, still have a really decent chunk of yarn left. I have absolutely no fear of yarn chicken where this project is concerned. If anything, I'm just worried I'll have enough left over to do something with, but not something cool. Like if I have enough left over, I'd love to make some fingerless gloves or something. I think that would be fun to have like a matching moment, but I don't think I'll have enough yarn left over for that. Maybe for one glove, but who needs one glove? I forgot about amputees. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know there are amputees that probably need one glove. I do apologize. Enjoy me thinking about that for a second and then making a horrible pun about it. You're welcome. That joke disarmed me. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But this is kind of where I'm at. Very excited. So I just figured I'd give you guys an update before I finish the ribbing. Good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning and I am awake because I cannot sleep. So I figured I'd kind of give you guys an update on where I'm at, where I finished off last night, and what I'm starting with today for the beanie that I'm knitting with that mystery yarn. This is how much I have so far. It is not enough. This is like 6.5 inches, somewhere around there. So we're about 2/3 of the way there with the ribbing itself. I haven't even started the decreases yet. And this is how much yarn I have left. So I think it is possible that I may have been overconfident when I said I was not scared of yarn chicken. Because I am now very scared of yarn chicken. And I don't know where I'm gonna get more yarn like this, and I don't know what other project I would make with this other than a single beanie. I'm definitely not making any fingerless mitts, not even one fingerless mitt. I'll be lucky if I'm making a hat, quite frankly. So I just kind of figured I'd update you guys on where I'm at. It's still working up beautifully. I still love the fabric that it's creating, and I still love working with it, and I wish I could find more because I genuinely like working with it that much. But this is how much we have left. Got a nice little yarn bracelet. I'm going to Epcot tonight, so if I'm not done with this by then, this will be a good travel project for me to take with me. So that's where I'm at. Wish me luck. Hi, official good morning. I'm up for realsies this time. I was up for like 3 hours when it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I went back to bed and actually slept, so thank God for that. But I have finished what I can finish. It's not a full hat. It is not a full hat, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take you guys through my yarn stash to see what I can use to knit the cap of the hat. I have like 2 more rows before I have to do the decreases. So I wanna go ahead and, I mean, I don't have any more yarn left on that ball, so I have to find other yarn anyway. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that and take you guys along with me for that particular ride, and we'll decide what we're gonna be doing for the cap of the hat. This is the majority of my yarn stash. That's a box of fiber and whatnot down there, fiber and notions for spinning. But this is my yarn stash. I have no idea what I'm gonna use. So let's go ahead and go through it. Let's see. This is being used for something else. I was thinking about this one being held double, so I'm gonna put that aside. Ooh, I also have my hand spun that I am very proud of. So that might work actually. Let's go and put that there. Let's see. This is something I'm gonna be making into something else. This is something I'm gonna be making into something else, and I don't think the colors would go anyway. I don't know why that's in there. Sorry. Let's see, old projects, fuzzy, spoken for, that's a no. What's that? Maybe. Hardcore maybe. The issue is I don't really have any yarns that match the bulk. So no matter what I pick, I'm gonna have to be doubling up on it. So let's go in, oop, yarn down. Let's go in through here. I don't think I'm gonna find anything in here. That's in the middle of something. Yeah, I'm not gonna find anything in that one. I think these are really my only 2 options. I was going through the rest of my yarn stash off camera and I just didn't see anything I liked. So let's go ahead and compare, oop, how they look. Let me get my shirt out of the way. Hi, Angus. Angus is gonna help us look. So this is what I'm looking at. I kind of really like this one, actually. I kind of like that one. I would have to hold it double, which is fine. But this, like, would that be too much of a, like, a shift? Like, it's not the same. And, like, this is different enough that I don't think I would care. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one and hold it double, possibly with something else. We'll see. I think these are my 2 options for what I'm going to be holding it triple with, because I'm going to hold it double with itself, and then I want to add another yarn into it. I'm leaning more towards this one just because I have more of it and I don't want to run out and play yarn chicken again. So I think this guy's out. So let's go ahead and compare. Yeah, I think this is going to pick up the gray tones that are already existing in the fabric really beautifully, and this is going to tone everything down. So I'm going to hold this double and then with a single strand of this, and hopefully that'll match the weight of the yarn I already used. All right, so I'm all set to go. I tied it all together using I think this is just a square knot. I never do anything fancy. I don't do magic knots. I don't do like anything else. I just tie them in a knot and hope for the best. And so far it's worked out okay, so I'm not worried about it. I have my whole mess of yarn here, so that's going to be super fun to deal with. But I'm really happy with like the gauge actually, because it, like, when I hold them held apart like this, the weight almost matches perfectly. So I'm excited about that, and then I'll just figure out how to weave these ends in later. That's just a problem for future me. I'm not going to deal with that right now. So I'm just going to finish out these next couple rows and then start the decreases with this guy. All right, so I'm officially at 9 inches, and I actually did the first round of decreases and it went fairly smoothly. You can see the fabric in the daylight and it's really pretty. It is so pretty. I'm not 100% sold on this combination, but I don't really have any other choice. So we're gonna go with it, and hopefully by the time I finish the hat, I'll like it. We'll see. Jury's still out, but we will see. But I've started the decreases, and it's a little more difficult than I anticipated because this the yarn held triple is slightly bulkier than the bulky yarn. But if I didn't hold it triple, it would be way too small. So I'm kind of weighing my, I weighed my options, and I'd rather just keep on like this versus ripping it back and figuring out another combination. So that's what I'm doing so far. I'm at the beginning of my round, so I'm just gonna continue on and knit for a while. I think that'll be nice. Alright, so I wanted to update you. I'm almost done. I have gotten to the point where I can no longer comfortably do the magic loop. It's just not working. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna cut the yarn and leave like a really long tail. And then using a tapestry needle, I'm gonna weave that tail through all of the stitches that are still on the line. And then I'm gonna cinch it closed. I only have one more round of decreases to do after this, and it's a lot of decreases. It's like purl one, knit two together, purl one, knit two together, over and over again for the round. And it's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen on these. And even if I wanted to try my hand at double pointed needles again, I don't even have any DPNs that are big enough for it. Like, I don't have a chunky enough double pointed needle. So it just is what it is, and we're all gonna have to deal, and we'll see how it looks in just a few moments. All right, it's time to pull it off the needles. Let's see if I can do this. You know what's gonna be easiest? Taking the needles off. Sometimes I'm a genius. Boom. And, I missed a stitch. She's finished. All I have left to do is weave in the ends, but that'll take me like 2 seconds. So I will return back when she's done. Here we go. I am really happy with how it came out. I think it is just the cutest thing ever. This is actually the first beanie that I've ever knit for myself. Every other beanie I've ever made, I've given away to someone. So I'm really thrilled with how this came out. Granted, it's April in Florida, so I don't know when I'll actually get to use this beanie. Probably not until like November or something like that, but I'm still really happy with how it came out. I actually love the color blocking. It really grew on me. partially because it had to, but mostly because I like it. So that's the beanie. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. That would really help me out, and I love hearing your guys' opinions and thoughts about everything I do and make and whatnot. It's the life of someone who's chronically online. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.